What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rain Plays Games, where I bring you guys the gameplay, talk about them, and share my thoughts about them with all you guys. Today we're going to be going over some Gears of War 4 on PC. I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts and my rundown of the game how it is right now. First thing I want to bring up is, my first thoughts and impressions of the game. How it looks, how it sounds, things like that. And honestly, how this game looks, it speaks for itself. I kind of want to compare this to old Gears of War a little bit if I can, if you guys don't mind. I was really big into Gears of War 2. It's probably my favorite Gears of War game was Gears 2, and that game, and it stemmed off of Gears 1, the art style at least, and it felt grimy. It felt grayscaled and grimy, and you felt it. It was the art style, and it worked great for the game. But now we have all these bright colors, and everything looks fantastic and vibrant, and you have so many differences in the textures and the way things look. It brings a new face to the game. I think we saw a lot of this starting in Gears 3 with the addition of all these new colors and depth and passion in the art that makes Gears of War what it is today. I still feel the old grimy feeling I get from Gears of War 2 and Gears 1. With all these bright new colors, we have the exact opposite still. We still have those deep darks and very dark, grimy textures and corners of the map that just give you that grimy feeling. I do want to mention that I tried rendering this video in full range, but it ended up coming out too dark. But I do want to show you guys the color contrast and how well it fits with the franchise. And I hope you guys can see that in this video. Next thing I'll talk about is how audio and how it sounds. To me, it sounds like a Gears game, guys. It's basic, cut and dry. It's a Gears game. Okay, there's nothing. The sound just didn't blow me away. I've listened to it in 7.1, 5.1, and home theater. And, the 5.1 is probably my favorite. 7.1 sounded a little echoey, but, for the most part, the game just sounds like a regular Gears of War game. Nothing too special here. But it does sound good. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me confused here. It does sound good. Another thing I want to talk about is getting used to keyboard and mouse. I grew up, playing this franchise from the very beginning with an Xbox controller. I was always used to having a controller input, be it wired or wireless. It's just a controller. And getting used to keyboard and mouse, at first it was a weird learning curve for me. This is just some advice for you guys out there who are old Gears veterans and coming to play it on PC. And this is some advice for you guys. Getting used to it on keyboard and mouse was weird. I almost had to trick my brain into relearning the muscle memory that I had gotten down for all the movements and all that. And it took me a minute to get used to it because I had to rebuild that muscle memory. The developing team, Coalition, I do want to mention them here, but big shout out to these guys. I think the guys are doing a really good job with the franchise after Epic Games. They did all the work on Ultimate Edition for Gears. That game really, to me, it felt like, a cut and dry, wash, rinse, repeat. Slap it in, have an old Gears game, go play on it. And I think that was mainly the idea of that game, I think. It's just everyone had a familiar game to go play and something in a Coalition that really sink their teeth into and work out the kinks of a Gears game. Really enjoy the opportunity to play on a Coalition Gears game of their own this time, something that's fresh and new to them as well for us. The next thing, the big thing I want to talk about is the overall enjoyment of me playing this game. Lobby matchmaking on PC is bad. And it's worse than bad, okay? This is worse than Call of Duty bad, okay? If any of you guys ever played Call of Duty on PC, it's bad. And that's a bad thing. I know I keep saying bad, but it is a bad thing. All we got is social quick play, guys. I mean, we can't go in there and search for much else than that. And it's like TDM all the time, and it's frustrating. And ultimately, I think that that hurts the franchise. Another thing I'll talk about here in this category is the weapons and the power weapons. Honestly, the weapons overall, they feel pretty good. The Lancer feels great. I like what they did to it. It seems like it had a lot less recoil than it used to. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Maybe it might just be a PC thing. I don't know. The stopping power in that thing, it rips. It's just like a Lancer. The Gnasher, I'll go into this a little bit later in my little Gnasher bashing session. But overall, the guns feel pretty good, both in social gameplay and competitive gameplay. The images are a little different between the two. They both feel good. Both feel pretty solid and definitely playable for a long period of times without being too frustrating. Power weapons, I do want to go into those a little bit. To me, power weapons, they feel a little bit gimmicky, a little bit like people aren't using them properly, or they're just, I don't know, I think maybe the timer needs to be upped on to 45 seconds for some of the other weapons and maybe just 30 seconds on nades. That's just me. But it seems like people are just, picking up a drop shot or picking up a boom shot and just running around like it's a pistol or a combat knife and just going to town. It doesn't seem like it used to me. It seems like they're overused and maybe slightly exploited a little bit. Maps, I love the maps. All the new maps that they've added to the game are very Gears-like maps. You can tell that you feel like you're playing a Gears map. A lot of people share their concern for new Gears maps just because of the way that old Gears maps worked and played, and a lot of these old maps were designed so well. It's hard to touch those, or hard to come close to it, hard to replicate a feeling that already feels perfect. A lot of these new maps, they live up to the expectation. They play very well. I think a lot of the newer maps, you can tell that they're newer maps. They're not laid out exactly the same or slightly differently to older Gears of War maps that are also in Gears of War 4, which you've done. I can definitely feel a difference when playing the newer maps versus the older maps. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just the way it plays. Skins and customization here a little bit. Weapon skins are a step up, in my opinion, from a lot of other games in terms of the quality of the weapon skin, as well as the feeling of reward when you get these weapon skins. They're cool. They're good to have. They're fun to have. They're fun to get, and I like the system. The player card system, all that works out pretty well. Player models, oh dear Lord, don't get me started on player models. Player models, it feels like a Gears of War game. Each player model has maybe 2 or 3 different variants, and it feels very dry in that sense. I know that they are adding new player models, and player models, player skins, skin variations. They're adding, it seems like 1 or 2 new different variations every month, which seems to follow their DLC plan, which brings me to my next topic and overall enjoyment is the DLC, the quality of the DLC, and the overall bundle, the season pass and all of that. I honestly feel like, that the season pass and the DLC for Gears of War 4, it feels like it's worth it. I signed up for the season pass. I got access to developers playlist, which at the beginning of the month when they come out with new maps, they have a developer game mode, developer playlist where you get 2 times XP and you earn more spending credits. You get more credits. You buy more stuff. You do more things. It's a nice little give back to the season pass guys. Let those guys have some fun for a little bit on the new maps. Let them test them out for us. I like that model. It seems like they come out with 2 new maps every month for 12 months. That's 24 new maps. 24. That's twice the amount. Almost twice the amount as other leading AAA titles DLCs come out with. And to me that says something right there. I mean, yeah, you get your bundle packages, you get your elite packages and your versus packages and stuff like that when you sign up for the season pass. Right there, I think I did the math at the top of my head when I first got them. I think it was like a $75 or $80 something value just in the packages alone, and that's not even including the price of the maps or anything else that they add out for us. My opinion on the season pass and the DLC in this game is yes, follow this model. Everyone should be following this model. I think it's a great thing. It really invokes players to come back and play more often instead of opposed to waiting 3-4 months for the next DLC map pack to come out, where they will just go and play their maps for a couple weeks, get bored, and not play that game for another month or 2, 2-3 months. This keeps the player base active, it keeps them involved, it keeps them entertained, and it helps content creators come out with new content and things that people want to watch and see and enjoy. Overall enjoyment, I want to touch on movement a little bit. Movement and the Gnasher are really what makes a Gears of War game for me. Movement in this game, it feels fluid. I'm able to traverse the maps quickly with ease, and with this new movement in combination with the new maps, it's fun to go out and find those new places to hit a wall bounce on and try new things. Very core to Gears of War, when it always felt like and when it always has been, and I love it. It feels great. It still plays great. The system is not dying. Okay, it's not getting old. It's not getting watered down. It feels like a Gears game, and it's great. Moving on to my next category, things I do like. Pretty much everything mentioned already, with exception to lobby matchmaking and how poor it is on the PC. Everything so far it's very. I'm getting very positive feeling when playing this game. I do like the season pass, as I said before. With the dev game mode 2XPL, I like it how the devs, how they're giving something back to the season pass holders other than just, hi, thanks for your money, bye bye. They're actually giving us time and giving us things to do, other than just sit there and wait for products that they're going to put out anyway. I like the shop system and the DLC. You don't have to buy a season pass. Obviously, you can buy each of the maps. I think the maps are $4.99 a piece. Say if you just wanted to get one good map, I love this map from Gears of War 3 or from Gears of War 1. I love that map. I'm gonna go buy it. You can buy it individually instead of having to buy a map pack, which I think is a bonus as well. I know the shop is a little bit convoluted. People may not seem to like it a lot. I seem to think it's okay. It's a lot better than other alternatives out there on the market right now with other AAA games. Yes, you earn these spending tokens, and you spend your tokens on packages that contain things, your weapon skins, your player models, things of that nature. Don't really impact the outcome of the game at all, really. I mean, you get bounty cards, which are things you can do in the game, which award you more XP or more spending tokens. They're fun things, the things to add to the game. A lot of the downside of this is, a lot of people are saying that to spend your in-game currency on it, some of these items are absurdly priced, and I partially agree with that. The Elite packages, I believe, are way overpriced at 3,500 tokens per box. That is just nuts. There's another downside people are talking about, which this topic is always going to catch flack just because of the way it works, is people like to spend money. There are people out there who just like to spend money. There are options for them to go ahead and buy these packages outright. I don't really have a problem with it. You're not getting weapons, you're not getting maps, you're not getting anything to make you perform better or have any competitive edge over your teammates or competitors. They're solely cosmetic items, and okay, I know that the bounties aren't cosmetic items, but it's not gonna make you get any better at the game. It's not gonna help you out in any way. It's just there something to do in the background. And I like that system. It gives you it's an option, either do it or don't. You can either take your time and do it slow and spend your in-game money. You can do it fast and spend your real money, or you don't have to do it at all. It's an option, and I like having that, especially in my games. That's really something to be strived for in a game, especially this day and age. Having a good PC port, I think, is a major selling point for this game, obviously for the PC marketplace. The port itself, it feels very solid. It feels like it was meant to be played on a PC as well as it was meant to be played on a console. Okay, it's not like it was made for console and your PC, you guys get whatever's left, or it wasn't made on for PC and here consoles, you guys have whatever's left. It was made with both platforms in mind, and it performs very well on both platforms. For the most part, on the Xbox One, for the most part, it performs okay. But for PC, it performs, it outperforms many other titles with less demanding features. I think that's really going to bring a lot of PC players to play this game, because there are a lot of games out there right now, brand new games that shouldn't be bad. They're bad. People don't want to play on them for these reasons, simply because it's not optimized, or it's just the developers aren't taking consideration of what people want to do, what they want to play. I think Coalition as a development studio is really going to bring in a lot of PC players if they do it right. And so far they're on the right track. I think they just need to touch upon a few things and really bring, drive the nail in the coffin, so to speak, and just bring everybody home. Things I don't like, as I said before, a small player base. With a small player base, it's really hard to enjoy a game. It's really hard to compete. It's really hard to play casually. You end up playing with the same 5 to 10 people. Well, I'm extremely under exaggerating here, but you're playing with the same 5 to 10, 15 people. You see them all daily, or however often you play. You see the same people all the time, and that's directly tied into my next complaint, which is a skill gap. There's such a skill gap on PC because you either have the veteran Gears heads who are there playing, on the PC for the first time, and they know the movement, they know the tactics, they know the how to play as a team, they know how to communicate, they know how to play a map, and they know how to read a map, and all they had to do was learn how to translate their controller movement, muscle memory on mouse and keyboard, which wasn't really that hard. It just took me a minute. So you have these veteran players that are really good and they're flying around the map. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Then on the other side of the spectrum, you have little Jimmy, who's just got it for Christmas or his birthday, and he's running around thinking this is fun, either because he's never played Gears of War before, or he's playing Gears of War for the first time on PC, or he's playing Gears of War for the first time since Gears 1 on PC. A lot of these PC guys are diehard PC players. They have not played a console since, Nintendo 64. They see Gears of War 4 and like, oh yeah, I played the first one when it came out for PC. You guys remember that? Okay, a lot's happened since then. There's been a lot of years of players learning how to play the game, how to read that, how to do everything, and a lot of these PC guys just aren't there. We don't have the experience. There's such a huge skill gap between player base. It's hard to find a happy medium. It's hard to find a good lobby. You're always mixed up. You're either on a team that's really good, or you're on the other team that's really bad, and it's making it not enjoyable. Lack of available game modes. This ties back right in there with the small player base. On PC, we have social quick play. Yep, TDM. Here's my section here I want to go into to talk about Gnasher bashing. Gnasher, for the most part, it's fun. It's a good shotgun. It's always, to me, like I said earlier, what makes a good Gears game is the Gnasher and the movement. And the Gnasher, it feels like a good Gnasher. It feels like a good shotgun. Now I'm going to say this, with the best intentions here. I'm sure I'm going to get lit up down in the comments, but there are some inconsistencies with the Gnasher shotgun. It's not just me. It's not just me saying it. Not just me feeling it. It's not just me recording it. It's a lot of people. And it's not game breaking, obviously. It's totally annoying, but it seems like the shotgun, there will be times where I body somebody 2 times and only do 31% damage. Things of that nature, or when I'm aiming where I should be aiming, and I didn't get a full hit. My full hit didn't register for some reason, but even though I shot him, all my shots hit. But for some reason it's not registering, either be a hitbox issue or a netcode issue. Either way, something's there that's inconsistent, but it's not all the time, and it is frustrating, but it's not game breaking. Now I know I left out one major aspect of Gears of War 4, and I did do this intentionally because I feel like it should be addressed in its own category, since nothing like this has ever been attempted before on such a large scale, and that's crossplay. Now, I know you Xbox guys are probably going to hate on me a little bit. I know you PC guys are probably going to hate on me a little bit, but hear me out. I'm trying to make some good points here. I think a lot of the cloud hanging over crossplay is due to a lot of personal interference instead of what it should be about, which is the overall playability of the game and how fun it ultimately is. Before I get any further, I just want to say I like the idea. Okay, I've always said that crossplay should be a thing, not competitively, obviously. Just as a thing to play with your friends. Not all games should have it. Most games should have it. It should be a bigger thing than it is right now. And I'm really happy to see Coalition put this feature in their game, if only for a short while. And I really hope it comes back. But it's revolutionary. It opens the doors to so many bigger, better things. Expands the community. Content creators, players. You're gonna have a bigger market. Okay, you're appealing to more people that way. You're gonna make more money. It opens a player base. It widens the skill gap. It always allows for people to play with their friends. Before you Xbox guys tear me up in the comments, I can trust me. I can hear you guys typing from here. I understand the possible problems here. Okay. As I said before, I consider myself a Gears veteran. I've been playing the series from day one, from Gears 1, 2, 3. I didn't play that Judgment crap. I played the Ultimate Edition, Gears 4 now on PC. I consider myself a Gears veteran. So I understand the limitations of the consoles is far less than the potential gains of playing on a PC. I understand that there are issues with frame rates, there are issues with sensitivity, there are issues with variables thrown into the mix here that I think it's being overlooked. I think people are focusing on the negative instead of the potential of what it's supposed to be. I've been hearing some other ideas and comments, and another YouTuber I like to watch, Angry FPS Gamer. I'll put a link to his channel in the description below. But he says that he has friends that play on Xbox, and he had the idea of maybe if they were to put a 60 FPS cap for PC players within this playlist specifically. That to me sounds like a pretty solid idea. Another idea I heard from a different YouTuber was only make it so PC players who use a controller, as their main input device for playing their game, can play in these playlists. Another guy I heard, he's going to talk about going in and changing the damages and configurations for PC players compared to the Xbox players. He went into the thick of it. I didn't like it, but for the most part, I'm thinking between the two options, that seem to be the most popular, are capping the FPS or making PC players play with controller. Making somebody play with controller is not going to be your answer, guys. I'm sorry. It sounds really good. It sounds like the most solid way to do it, and it sounds like the best way to do it. But I gotta disagree with it. This crossplay, it's all about give and take on both sides. You can't, Xbox guys, you guys aren't going to have to go out and buy a controller just to play with us. I mean, you already have a controller. Came with your system. Why should we have to go out and buy a controller just to play with you? No one's going to do that. Limiting the FPS, a lot of PC guys are like, oh my FPS, bro. I can't play without 144 FPS. And I get it. I play at 120 FPS. I love having a smooth frame rate. I love it. But honestly, I think what goes back to what I just said, have a lot of give and take between the two. That's an acceptable compromise. Okay, 60 FPS is an acceptable compromise, I think, as a casual thing. It balances the terms of engagement on both sides. And I am all for that idea of having a 60 FPS cap. I don't mind that one bit. But the one thing I do want to put some emphasis on here is the benefits of crossplay for the community. What this does is for content creators such as myself, you guys, the players, you guys, myself, esports, the whole entire community. I don't think everything ever was and is Gears. That's what I'm talking about here. That would benefit the community of Gears of War infinitely. You're going to raise player awareness, raise the player base altogether, and in combination with Coalition, who is actually a developing company, who is listening to the concerns of the players. This is going to be a good thing for everybody. It's really just a great thing. And what really makes me upset, it literally makes me upset, of the amount of complaining I'm hearing, mainly from Xbox players. Don't hate me on this, but I understand why you guys are upset, but quit complaining about it. Okay, to put this, to make an analogy here, look at the legalization of marijuana in the United States. There wasn't pushed by a bunch of people who just sat at home, smoked their dope, and complained about it. No, they gathered together. They all had a common goal, and that was gaming, and that was enjoying playing games with other people. And all this complaining from Xbox players about how unfair it is and this, that, and the other. You're not doing anything to help. You're just complaining, and all you're going to do is just erase crossplay from the existence of gaming altogether. And that's not what anybody wants. Basically, just quit complaining. It's unranked. It's an optional playlist. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to show that we have the mental capacity to play and enjoy these games together. That's why it's there. Okay, there's no ranking. It's optional. You don't even have to do it. And I think a lot of the complaints are really just closing the lid on the deal here, guys. You're shooting everybody in the foot. You got to think about more than just yourselves. I mean, if you don't want to play it, then don't play it. But there are people who do. Keep that in mind. There are people who do want to play with crossplay. Even on Xbox, people want to play with PC guys. So honestly, I think we all just need to, sit back, put it on chill, and just play. Play with each other. Have fun. No other game, no other franchise has been afforded this opportunity. And I think we should capitalize on this opportunity and make it something great. Make it what we want it to be. But that's just me. Overall, I feel that Gears of War 4 has lived up to the name of the franchise. With some minor tweaks and adjustments, it could very well be the game that saves the franchise. I know it's not really in danger of dying, but it could be really well what makes the franchise even greater. I think that with heavy emphasis from content creators, that Gears shouldn't have to live in its own little shadowy corner of gaming market anymore. It doesn't have to do that. Coalition is really doing a good job, and they're trying to improve and innovate on the franchise, and they're competing for our time. They're competing for our money. They're doing things that need to be done, things that we want to see happen, and they're doing a good job at it. But yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on Gears of War 4. Whether you agree with them or not, I hope that you are encouraged to go type down in the comments, leave some ideas, some suggestions, have a debate, keep it clean. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys for the next video. Thanks for watching.